Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know, my name is Crystal Williams Foster, and on this channel we post anywhere from 2 to 3 videos a week. On Mondays we have Money Making Mondays, where I teach moms how to make money online or make money outside of their 9 to 5. Because I was a single mom for 10 years, as you can imagine, I was robbing Peter to pay Paul since I was getting no financial assistance, which forced me to start my online business with about $50 in my bank account and my laptop. My son was eventually diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia, so I quit my 9 to 5 and I went all in on my business, and now I run multiple online 6-figure businesses, and I have the opportunity to teach women how to make money online. We also upload videos on fitness and wellness, like today, which is Wellness Wednesday, where we go over how to lose weight, how to shape our bodies, how to build our butts, since I did build mine naturally, as well as how to take care of ourselves as mom, whether that's self-care, whether that's a day off, whether that's reading a book, you name it, we get into it. We also go into our Freestyle Fridays, which pretty much is a video from me on any topic that I want to discuss. So that could be God, that could be falling in love, that could be dating, that could be friendships. You name it, we talk about anything and everything a 36-year-old Black woman entrepreneur who's a wife and a mom goes through on Freestyle Fridays. So if this type of content interests you, I highly recommend that you subscribe, because the videos are amazing. You can learn, you can worship, and you can turn up on Fridays. So let's get into today's Wellness Wednesday. For those who don't know, I sell a gut and glute guide, which has sold over 30,000 copies online and has helped many women lose their gut and of course build their butt. The reason why I built this program is because, for those who know, for a long period of time, I could not build my glutes whatsoever. I was the girl scrolling on Google trying to figure out, how can I afford a BBL? The only reason why I didn't end up going that route, money was definitely an issue, but also my health. I saw how many women were dying from getting BBLs. I'm not sure if you guys know, but it is one of the leading causes of death in plastic surgeries. And so I knew that as a single mom, I did not want to leave my son behind because I was trying to get a big butt. So what did I do? I decided to create my gut and glute guide, which again has sold thousands of copies and is helping women build their butts. The thing is this, my first year of trying to figure out this plan and build this plan, nothing was working, nothing. And so I had to figure out, why wasn't it working? What I realized is that I suffered from gluteal amnesia. Yep, it's real, I promise you. What gluteal amnesia is pretty much when your body forgets how to use the glutes altogether, or your gluteus maximus. Your body forgets how to use it because you sit on it all day and it's dormant. Your butt is pretty much asleep every time you're sitting down. And for most of us, we have sit-down jobs. I pretty much worked at a call center for primarily most of my life.
This is Lennar at Delta Airlines. May I ask who I'm speaking with today?
All I want to do is cancel my flight, but I've been on hold for 3 hours.
I decided to start building my body. So as you can imagine, my butt was asleep. And even then, even when it wasn't asleep, my body forgot how to use it. And when your body forgets how to use the glutes, it starts to pull muscles from your back, your lower back, as well as your hamstrings to overcompensate. So you'll start to notice back pains when you do certain muscles that work for your butt. You'll even notice that your hamstrings are really tight when you're doing butt exercises. And it's because they are overcompensating and taking over the work for your glutes, because your glutes aren't working. And you don't wake up your glutes and activate them and get them ready for glute workouts because they are sleeping, then you're going to pretty much be doing all of those glute workouts and get no results because your lower back and your hamstrings are pretty much doing the work. And so I posted this Instagram post, which showed you guys more or less so me doing my glute activation. I went into how I pretty much do it at home now. And of course, my husband is always thinking that means it's time for him to get some, but it's not. But yes, I do have to activate my glutes at home. It is a very intimate time, I would say, because I'm going very slow on my movements. I'm trying to make sure I have that muscle and mind connection. And so I'm really focused on waking up my glutes. And so it is something that I do in the comfort of my home before I do my home workout. Even if I'm going to the gym, I activate at home before going to the gym. So as we get into the different activations that I do to wake up my glutes, I want to let you guys know this is just what I've been doing. I am not a trainer. I am not a professional. And I say that to say this is what worked for me after doing glute exercises for almost a year and not seeing any gains in my butt, okay? This is what worked for me. If your trainer or doctor tells you something else, you need to listen to them, but this is what worked for me. That is the disclaimer today, okay? So now that we've discussed gluteal amnesia and your butt being asleep from sitting on it all day, what is activation, right? It's pretty much us waking up your glutes. And how I do this, like I said before, is by using muscle and mind connection, okay? It's by using mind and muscle connection. It's when I use my mind to say move, literally, in my brain I'm saying move to my butt cheek, to my right cheek, to my left cheek, to both of them. And you hear it all the time when people say, okay, now activate your glutes, but you're probably like, what does that even mean? It's easier said than done. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm gonna show you how I do it in regards to each exercise I do. But before we go into the exercise, I wanna show you how to get that mind-muscle connection. After I show you this, some people it's gonna work automatically. For some others, it might not. But I promise you, if you do it every day, you'll get better and better and you'll be able to actually connect your mind to your muscle. And how we're gonna do this, how are we going to connect your mind to your muscle to get your muscles to actually move? You want your butt to be moving as you're exercising to wake them up, okay? It's like literally you're pushing it to say, hey, wake up, wake up. You're gonna do that by touching it. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But I'll be honest, when I first started trying to activate my glutes, which what I'm meaning is by just moving my glutes by themselves without using any other muscles, is I had to actually touch the muscle. It was like if I wanted to move it, I'm telling my mind, move, 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 and it wasn't moving. But if I put my hand there and put pressure there, then I can move it. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And after I show you that part in regards to learning how to actually move and wake up that glute, we'll go into each exercise that I recommend that I do before working out to make sure my glutes are worked out, they're up, they're running, and they're ready to go. So when I go into my glute exercise, when I use my gut and glute guide by Manny's Mom Fitness, I'm getting that full range of motion. I'm getting all of the feels inside of my glute. My back isn't doing the work. My hamstrings isn't doing the work. And I'm getting that desired look overall and growing my glutes, okay? So let's go into touching our butts. So as you can see here, I'm standing in front of you. I have my butt in the camera. That sounds so weird, goodness. But what you're gonna notice is that I'm going to touch my butt. I want you to try to touch your right cheek. And after you touch your right cheek, I want you to tell your mind to actually move it. As you can see, my mind can move my right cheek. For some people, this may happen without you touching it. But for some others, you might need to touch and put pressure on the right cheek for it actually to move. You would do the same thing for the left cheek, as well as you can hold both of them in your hands and start to move them. So now we're going to take this to the next level and we're going to sit down and we're going to try to do the same activation that we just did while standing up. We're going to sit down, same thing, try to move those glutes. For some of you, you might need to put your feet up on the stool or you might need to put them on the ground to actually help yourself be able to move those glutes. Either way, you should be able to move them. If you can't, same thing. Put one hand underneath your right cheek or your left or both and take your time and actually try to, after you touch the glute, tell your mind to move it. Maybe doing the right and the left separate will help or doing them together. Either way it goes, you want to do these. Either way it goes, this is just the start on how to try to learn how to move your glutes, because this is what you'll be doing the entire time you're doing the exercises I'm going to give you for glute activation. And last but not least, the next level of this is kind of how you guys saw me in that reel when I was leaning. You want to kneel on one knee, whether it's your right or your left, and you want to slowly try to jump and move and throb that butt cheek, whether it's your right one or even your left. You want to try to move them. I recommend doing these daily. Again, for those people who did not nail this part, this is something you want to try to master. So that way, when you go into your activation exercises, you can apply this method as well. First exercise is going to be squats. I like to use a band when I'm doing my squats, okay, before we get into it. Now, just because I'm using a band, you don't have to use a band. Keep that in mind. I recommend using a band only because it does help me stay more focused on my glutes because I have more of a support when using the band. But if you are going to use a band, you do not want to use one that is heavy in resistance because that'll start to cave your legs in. You want to use one in medium or light resistance. The goal of the band, honestly, is to help support you so that you can focus on your glutes. Okay, let's get into the squats. So once you get into your squats, the first thing you want to do is make sure your feet are shoulder width apart. So if I put my feet straight in front of me and I try to squat down, I can barely push my heels into the ground because I can barely keep my balance. To get that sweet spot of where my feet need to be, I put them at a spot where that allows me to go down and make sure my heels can actually press into the ground. And so I do this by putting them shoulder width apart, but also turning my feet outward just a little bit slightly. My core is engaged so that I'm not going over. And every time that I'm going down, that movement we did in the beginning, guys, where you made your cheeks move, it's what I'm doing every time I go down into my squat. I am making my butt move up. I'm activating it, and then I'm coming up and releasing it, okay? Now, here's something I want you to notice. I'm not going up and squeezing real hard or even going all the way up. I'm really doing squat pulses, and that's what this is. This is a squat pulse that you want to focus on, and you're just going up and down very slowly, not full range of motion, and every time you go down, you're jolting that butt up. You're moving those cheeks up like we did at the beginning of the video, okay? The second thing I go into from there is I go into doing my right leg and my left leg with these squat pulses. This really opens up that muscle that's on the side of my glutes. And same thing, I'm not going all the way up with range of motion or all the way down, but every time I do go down, I am being intentional on doing that butt movement. Even if you have to hold your butt cheeks while doing your squats to make sure you're able to activate it, that's going to help you. Our third exercise for activation is going to be our glute bridge. And so what you're going to notice is that I'm going to lay flat here. And as I'm laying flat, I'm making sure I'm bracing my core. When I tell you to engage your core, I'm not asking you to suck in your stomach. I'm asking you to harden your stomach, to pull that core in. If someone was to throw a tire at your stomach or punch you in the stomach, it should be so engaged that it does not wind you, it does not leave you winded, it does not affect you. I know you've seen those videos where people are throwing tires and poles at people's stomachs and it's not even affecting them. It's because their core is engaged. I want your core to be engaged. Whenever you hear that, this is what I mean. And so let's get into that exercise. So with our glute bridge, you're going to lay down. Feet are a little pointed out. You want to make sure that you're able to rise up. Some people rise up on their heels. Some people don't have to, which is fine either way. I use a band for these, again, because it helps me not feel it in my quads, but more in my glutes. Same thing as our squats. We're not doing a full range of motion. We're not going from the bottom all the way to the top and squeezing. We are literally doing slight pulses. The goal is to, as you're on your way up, do that glute activation, make your butt move. As you're going up, when you get to the top of how far you're going, You hold it for anywhere from 2 to 5 seconds, and then you let go of your glutes because you've been activating them this entire time. You let go and you go down. You go back up, and on your way up, same thing. You are activating them. Think about having a pencil in between your butt crack. You're trying to hold that pencil in your butt crack as you're going up. And then once you get to your spot, you're holding it. And then before you even come down, just let those cheeks go. If you need to hold your butt to do this exercise, just so you can feel the glutes, because I know for some people, the only way you're going to be able to activate is to feel them and feel some type of pressure on them, then that is fine as well. But do not use your hands to push up your glutes or carry them down. Next exercise for activation is going to be our donkey kicks, okay? So let's go right into those. As you can see with the donkey kicks, you are going to, of course, have your core activated. The key here is not to do a full range of motion. You're not going all the way out and all the way in, because you want to make sure you are only doing a small range of motion like we've been doing this entire time to really keep that tension on those glutes, okay? And so you have your band and you are slightly pushing out and pushing in. As you can see, every time I go out, my glutes are just shaking because I'm going slow enough and I'm making sure that I'm stopping right where that glute starts to shake, because that's when I'm feeling it, bringing it back in and right back out. It's not about going fast with this one, guys. It's about taking your time to make sure you are feeling those glutes burn. Now, our next exercise for activation is our kneeling squat. So let's get into it. So with your kneeling squat, your core is engaged, your knees are shoulder width apart, you have your band on, and you're not going down and all the way up and squeezing. You are literally doing a light range of motion like we've been doing this entire time to make sure we keep that glute under tension. And you are going down, and once you're down and you're about to come up, you activate. You move that booty muscle, okay? And you move it, and when I say activate, you want to act as if there's a pencil between that butt crack and you're holding it. You come up as far as you need to come up, which again is about a good 40% there. And then once you get up to the top, you can let that pencil drop out of that crack. Drop on back down into your squat, and same thing. Once you get down there to that bottom, you activate and you lift and move that butt cheek or squeeze that pencil, and you come right back up, okay? And you're gonna keep doing this motion, and remember, it's not a full range of motion. It's a light, smooth range of motion and very slow. Okay, our next exercise in activating our glutes is really to work those side glutes, okay, guys? Those hip dips you guys always talk about and your side glutes, how they don't work and everything, don't worry. We're gonna go into lying lateral leg raises. So as you can see here with this exercise, you can use a pillow. I'll show that here if you want to. And you're simply engaging your core and lifting your leg. You're gonna lift your leg as far as you can to once you feel that tension. From there, once you feel that tension, give it anywhere from 2 to 5 seconds and then let it down. And you're gonna continue and repeat this motion. You're not trying to bring your leg all the way up to be a 90-degree angle. It's just going far enough, again, so that you can feel that tension on that hip and side muscle. If you don't want to use a pillow, you do not have to. You can decide what works best for you. Just keep your core engaged so you're not rotating those hips whatsoever, okay? And that sums up all of the exercises that I do for activation. Okay, guys, I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, drop them below. Remember, I make videos based off of what you guys tell me. You guys voted that you wanted this video and I made it. So make sure you leave your comments and your questions below so we can go ahead and make sure I'm giving you the information that you actually want in regards to wellness and fitness, okay? Now, in regards to reps and how many times I do these, I will be honest with you guys, I don't put a number there. Some people say do 10 times, do 15 times. And I want to be honest, the reason why I don't do that is because if I know that I'm only doing 5, I'm only doing 10, I'm going to do just that much. But what if it's not burning at that point? And if it's not burning, that means my butt is still sleeping. So if that's the case, I do each exercise until it's really burning. And then when it's really burning, I push for another 3 to 5. Okay, guys? And some people even say that they just put on their favorite song about 2 times. And that pretty much sums up how much activation they need to do. You decide on what works best for you. But for me, I go until my booty is burning. I hope you guys appreciated this video. If you like topics like this, again, make sure you subscribe. I'm giving your videos anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week. We're covering wellness and fitness. And of course, we're covering all things entrepreneur when it comes to me being a 36-year-old Black woman that's a full-time entrepreneur online. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. I hope these work for you. Let me know if you use them and how it's going. You guys having a great, amazing day.